Regarding the 2020 league, one match which took place on Saturday, 1 October 2022 at Kanjuruhan Stadium Malang, East Java, the match between Arema versus Persebaya ended with Persebaya's advantage. 32 conditions during the match were reported by the police to proceed in an orderly manner, but after the match, riots occurred from the stands area of a number of spectators. What the police said came from Armenia supporters. They did not accept. They did not accept that the results of the defeat that had to be borne the Tiger FC. They tried to get down the tribune area to go to the Kanjuruhan Stadium field, Malang, East Java, entered the stadium, but the chaos was no longer inevitable. You can see the actions of throwing rope. You can see it on the visuals. You can see it in the mirror. Until now, this has happened until finally the athletes from the two teams were tried to be secured by police officers so that there were no things that distances at the time were unwanted. But the competitions continue to the outside of the stadium, not only directed at the fans or also not only directed at members and the police. I mean from among supporters, but also a number of facilities were also damaged by a number of mobs involved in the riots. Things is evident from a number of facilities inside the stadium were damaged, especially the spectator seats, the guardrail, then a number of tactical vehicle belongings to members of the police, and a number of private vehicles were not only damaged but also burned. Located at a number of points around the Kanjuruhan Stadium Malang, East Java. As a result of this incident, it was reported that the last time 127 people died and 125 people came from Arema FC supporters and 2 from members of the police. While 180 people were reported to have suffered injuries with a variety of injuries experienced and handled by a number of hospitals spread across the district and city Malang, East Java. This is visual of the conditions of the bodies of the victims affected by the riot's actions at Kanjuruhan Stadium Malang. Until now, we are still waiting for the form of treatment. What was the report from Hilda Nusantara at the Malang, Java Police Headquarters? Timur's family members or for the families of supporters who were affected by this riot accident who wanted to come to the hospital in Bintang to bring a supporting identity to help identify or and recognize the victim and then take further actions supporting while waiting for what form of further treatment will be carried out by the police. It was reported that management of Arema FC would open a crisis center. Until now, we are also waiting their families for who just joined. We convey again as a result of this incident, the East Java Regional Police Chief Inspector General Nico Avinta reported that 127 people died. 2 of them were members of the police, while 180 people were treated in numbers of preventive hospitals until tear gas was carried out because of their tear gas. Went out one other point, namely, if I'm not mistaken, at 10:10, yes, there was a build-up in the build-up process. What happened? That happened for 8 oxygen, which was carried out by the medical team, and this disturbance in the stadium was also carried out by several hospitals in this incident. Two of them died, police, and 125 who died in at the stadium stations. There were 34, then others were also in the hospital. There was an attempt at the planning process. There, then there others were also were damaged. 13 damaged cars. 10 of them were official cars, and there were also private cars. Then there were still 180 people who were still in the treatment process, but effort to recover on the treated to avoid the impact of the chaos of the PAM. So Persebaya also evacuated to the locker room. The visuals can be seen from the mirror at the time. You are lucky the players did not suffer injuries with the tight police escort as players. The players below used tactical vehicle to leave the stadium this and getting this loss for the accident of Indonesian football. Victim who has admitted to the hospital for Malang district, and today we are all friends. All the best way we can do by Malang district with limited marketing and make sure that I can say thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh is a statement from the region of Malang, Sanusi, who emphasized that all costs for the living affected by these threats will be borne by the government of Malang Regency, East Java. He also expressed his concern over the incident that occurred at Kejuruhan Stadium to triggering 127 facilities. At this time, we have joined forces with Kompas TV journalist Andi Masbudi, who is already in Malang, East Java. Andi helped me to find out what you saw. What did you monitor for the current conditions in Malang after these conditions? Because you see behind you are like a police vehicle that was damaged. It is still there, yes. What else do you have to wait for there regarding the current atmosphere? The conditions are indeed quite conducive. It just looks like the one behind me. So, from what happened last night, there was an Arema match against Persebaya. There were indeed a number of vehicles that looked damaged, passing ambulance that kept saying yes. It can be seen that because carrying the body, there are restrictions on access. Not for residents who will to go to the stadium. For now, as you asked about access restrictions for resident, it is not yet visible. What is clear is that currently all elements in Malang Regency are focused on the handling of victims related to the problem of infrastructure damage due to the aftermath of Arema versus Persebaya will indeed be carried out after handling all the victims is finished. Okay, because the access is still open, so the community is still there. Is there no special security there, or how can you describe this problem that we see indeed so far? It has not been seen, and it's still relatively conductive both from Malang residents and from the security force, because the charter itself conductive both itself does not want riots to occur for the second time. There is indeed against Persebaya. Meanwhile, all the personnel were at Malang police in connections with the presence of East Java, both you for now. Residents' access is still there. Your focus from the police has conveyed that at this time is it is handling the victim. Up approximately how long will it take for us to know that further steps it will be taken, whether it be from the East Java Regional Police or the Malang Police, for investigate or not investigate this case, and roughly who was the driving force behind the chaos at the Kanjuruhan Stadium. What is the follow-up? We have heard that it is also painful that there are plans to request a postponement or change of broadcast hours for the Arema versus Persebaya match from evening to evening, but this was rejected by one of the parties who got here too. We still cannot convey how clear it should be from several community statements as well as several placement with elements on the people of Malang. The match after RMF versus Persebaya, and this should have been done in the afternoon, but in fact the match was still held at night. This is what should have been related from the start. Is there an official statement from the organizer of the match about the commissions? The commissions has there been any further attitude from the management of Arema FC? The plan is to hold a construction test today related to the incident at Kanjuruhan Stadium when Arema versus Persebaya last night, but regarding the certainty of the time. Until this second, we have not received it from media's friends in Malang. Okay, maybe you can show us the current conditions here. We are you reporting now what is the situations now, and it looks like a car wreck. However, access to the inside of the stadium. Can you show me regarding my current conditions? There are some damaged vehicle languages. If you look from behind me, it looks like it's from the police. Yes, this vehicle, but what is clear is related to access to the entrance to the stadium. After we checked, it was still locked. There's still nothing that hasn't been included in the plan. If you see the police put up police line on the rise of the vehicle, does not rule out the possibility of carrying out an investigation inside
Oke, Andi,
from the
mungkin bisa Anda
stadium.
tunjukkan kondisi saat ini di tempat Anda melaporkan sekarang, bagaimana keadaannya sekarang, dan itu kan terlihat hanya bangkai kendaraan ya. Bagaimana untuk akses ya yang ke arah dalam stadion ini? Bisa Anda tunjukkan?
Terkait kondisi saya saat ini memang berada di belakang stadion dari Kanjuruhan Kabupaten Malang. Memang masih dalam lingkup stadion di mana ada beberapa bangkai kendaraan yang rusak. Kalau terlihat dari belakang saya sepertinya memang dari pihak kepolisian ya kendaraan ini. Namun yang jelas terkait akses masuk ke pintu stadion, tadi setelah kami cek memang masih dalam keadaan terkunci, masih belum ada yang boleh masuk. Rencananya.
Well then, do you see when you move from the head of the police and then towards the Kanjuruhan Stadium, are there family members waiting around the stadium to find out the news of the current situations at Kanjuruhan? East Java Cambodian press conference this morning headed to the Kanjuruhan Stadium, no more than 3 kilometers at the General Hospital in the Kapanjen area. Friends or family of the victims are still being treated at the Kanjuruhan General Hospital as a result of the incident after the Arema versus Persebaya match from the Kanjuruhan Stadium in Malang, East Java. Andi Bas has submitted several reports earlier regarding the current conditions there.
Salah satu rumah sakit, jadi rumah sakit umum daerah Kepanjen memang masih terlihat rekan-rekan ataupun keluarga dari